taking up the surprise vote for a moment, you seem stunned by...
Oh, the council?
Yep.
Yeah,
You seem surprised by the rejection of Ryan Terrell for the state board by Democrats on the executive council. He was the second African-American nominee that you've had in the past few months that's kind of had trouble getting through.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Edwards was the first. You know, both of them offered a diverse life experience, job experience, personal belief experience, etc. Terrell says that he believes that the Democrats who voted against him were racist and suggesting he isn't qualified, suggesting he run for school board or something. You've talked a lot about diversity. What can you do as governor to combat certain members of the council saying that some of the people you put forth need not apply?
I think the comments that were made by the executive council yesterday against Ryan were terrible. Absolutely deplorable. I don't know whether they knew what they were saying or not, but there's no place for it. And I think their comments speak for themselves. And it's just a shame because Ryan is exactly what the Board of Education needs. Anytime we have the opportunity to bring somebody with private experience, an entrepreneur that thinks a little bit outside the box, that doesn't necessarily, isn't part of the institutions of education or institutions or whatever that the board may be. It could be any board. It could be the Board of Psychiatrists or the Board of Optometry. It could be the Board of Education. Anytime someone wants to step up and say, I'm willing to serve and bring that outside perspective, that is a home run for the state of New Hampshire. And to reject that is such a loss for the state. I simply hope that the council, I guess I keep hoping, although this keeps happening, that the council learns from their previous mistakes. They don't seem to get it. I called Ryan yesterday. I was shocked. And I'm so sorry, I never meant to put him through that. Anytime someone gets shot down at the council, even though it's clearly not their fault, it's clearly nothing they did. It's the council's fault, not theirs. It's the council really that should be the one apologizing, if anything, to Ryan. I apologize, but I apologize to him. I said, I don't want to put you through that. That's never a good thing. That's terrible for an individual to have to go through. And someone with his background and what he could have offered. I'll speak a little more specifically. Ryan's an individual whose high school was, or I should say his grade school, was wiped out by Hurricane Katrina. Wiped out off the face of the earth. And he had to go to a charter school for his middle school years. He came up to New Hampshire. He's a business guy. He's an efficiency expert. He's an entrepreneur. He understands numbers. He knows how to look at data. He's done a great job with that. I think one of the comments was he's lived in a variety of communities, as if that's a bad thing. As if unless you have 2 acres and a white picket fence and a house with a mortgage, you can't serve or something like that. So what if you're transient in other communities? So you have some experience. You've seen the good and the bad around the state. And again, this isn't just for Ryan and the Board of Education, it's for anybody who wants to serve. Step up and serve. Why would we limit that? And it's happened a couple of times. Eddie Edwards, Eddie's an African-American. He's been nominated for a position. He hasn't even had the courtesy of a public hearing for like 13 weeks or something. They won't even have a conversation with him. That's not right. That's not right. And I'm not going to opine on the whys. That's really a question for the counselors. But I will opine on the wrongness of it. It's just wrong. It's not fair. It's an unfair process. And they keep bringing up politics. I served on that council for 6 years. We didn't ask political questions. I got to be honest. I've never asked Ryan what political party he's from. I don't ask those questions. Not of judges, not of board members. It's not about that. Never has been, and never should be. They've changed that paradigm on the council. The 3 Democrats on the council, Councilor Pignatelli, Councilor Belinsky, and Councilor Cryans, should be ashamed of those votes. They did it to what could have been one of the great Supreme Court justices in our state with Gordon MacDonald. They did it with Ryan yesterday. There have been others. I think it's just a shame. It's really a shame because there has to be we're different than that. The Executive Council is one of the only ones in the country. It's a very unique system. The public can come and participate in those meetings every other week. It's just an amazing process and one we should be proud of. It's not one of the not really the golden times for the Executive Council right now. And I think they have to do a lot of soul searching about what they're about, what constituent service is about. I can't explain the whys of what they did yesterday, but I think we all know, not me, pretty clear to everyone in this state, what they did was wrong.